The biggest opportunity in sales and marketing today is misalignment. There is an age-old problem in companies, and it is about alignment, specifically the alignment of sales and marketing. Every year, there are reports about how to align sales and marketing. It's been happening for decades. There's this age-old question, why can't they align?
Today, you'll be treated to one of our hottest contrarian takes, which is that marketing should stop trying to align with sales and should start trying to misalign with sales. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Jon and Peter's prescription for how you fix sales and
We're not going to tell
marketing.
you should be more aligned. You should plan better. We're going to tell you should do the opposite, actually.
Well, there's this cult of collaboration in business where everyone assumes people working together on the same things is always better than people working in quote-unquote silos, right? Let's talk about a much older idea, an idea called division of labor. We have this close personal friend, Adam Smith, who's a big fan of the podcast. In 1776, he wrote The Wealth of Nations and basically invented the concept of capitalism. I think the example he gives is a pin factory manufacturing pins. Instead of having 10 workers all doing the same thing or all doing the process end to end, instead you divide up the 10 workers and have them each focus on one step in the process. When you divide up the 10 workers into a variety of steps, you're able to get to 48,000 pins a day, right? So you see how you're able to amazingly scale productivity by actually focusing on different things,
I believe
right?
the economic language for this is comparative advantage.
Let's dig deeper into the data we have from our survey from the Evidenza Corporation on metrics specifically, where we asked what metric most distorts behavior across sales and marketing. What did we find, John?
Number one, marketing qualified leads. Pretty unanimous among sales and marketing professionals. 37% of marketers, 41% of salespeople. So MQLs, absolutely no respect.
This is a great place to bring in the verbatims, right? Because this is a fun part of our platform is you can get the quant data, but you can get the qual. The qual here was priceless. So about MQLs, marketing professionals said, I gate a white paper, call it a lead, and sales wastes a week on someone who only wanted the PDF, right? So marketing acknowledges not ideal. What does the sales team say? The MQLs flood my pipeline with people who never intended to buy, so marketing celebrates while sales inherits busy work, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's just a fundamental contradiction here or conflict here between marketing is essentially incentivized to deliver quantity and sales is incentivized to want quality.
Yes, and they can't agree on what was
that is.
quality.
Right.
If the sales team can't close the lead, then of course it's marketing's fault.
Right, it's a bad
Definitely
lead.
not
It's a
sales
bad
part.
lead.
It's marketing's fault. Shitty leads. If the sales team can't close the lead, then marketing says our sales people are shitty. We've talked in the past about the 95-5 rule, right? Most buyers are future buyers. They're not in market. That's the 95%. 5% are actually in market. And collectively, that's 100%. That's the whole market, right? Today, I think what happens is both marketing and sales are trying to get to the 5%, right? Obviously, if you're a salesperson, you don't want to waste your time talking to a prospect who's not going to buy for 2 years. So you want to talk to people who are actively in market. And then marketing teams are also obsessed with the in-market opportunity. They want to spend in platforms like Google that are in theory closer to the moment of purchase,
The
right?
objective is to generate revenue, right? That's the objective. And also just the incentives within the organization, because it's all about revenue and everybody's measured on short-term revenue. You have the problem we talked about earlier. Sales is doing sales, and then marketing is being forced by sales and by leadership to also do sales.
Right.
And so everybody's doing sales and nobody's doing marketing.
Right. So instead of calling that collaboration, why don't we call it what it is, which is duplication of efforts, right?
I mean, this is fundamentally about a misalignment of incentives. You know, sales is very short-term. Marketing is really supposed to be more long-term. It's supposed to be creating future demand, not current demand. So you have one focused on the current, one focused on the future.
Well, I think when I look at this data, what I see is marketing and sales are misaligned on metrics that are all just sales metrics. Like this is the heart of the problem, is that they're actually just fundamentally sales metrics. And you can't align marketing around sales metrics because then you get into the attribution knife fight and the duplication of labor. It'd be much better to just have an entirely separate list of KPIs that you agree work together. You know, one set of KPIs feeds the other, but they're different, right? And you're achieving some kind of like more holistic balance.
I mean, this is where category entry points becomes very interesting from a marketing perspective. Is that if as a marketing organization, you're marketing, hey, we're helping them reduce their costs, to buy servers, or we're helping them scale their business or enter new markets. If we're growing in awareness in those key buying situations, well, that's what a salesperson is going to go in and talk to the customer about. Like, we're going to help you enter new markets, we'll help you scale your business, cut your costs. If you're measuring the sales situation, but from a marketing perspective, that's probably the closest you can get to sales and marketing working together. But that doesn't exist in any companies today.